Hai CD Lovers, welcome back to another exclusive interview with me Dunde Yuwono. Dan kali ini kita bakalan ngobrol sama salah satu musisi asal Amerika Serikat yang lagi naik daun banget. If you love some ballad song, you will love him as much as I do. And here with me now is Anson Seabra. Hello Anson, how are you?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm totally great. I'm just sipping my coffee right now, so yeah, everything is good. How are
Very
you
nice.
holding up during this quarantine though?
Honestly, I was just talking to someone about this today. It's not that much different than what I was already doing. I've been mostly just making songs in my bedroom for
Right.
the last year anyway. So I kind of just did more of that once the quarantine started. Except now I have to wear a mask when I get groceries. So it's a little. I guess it's a bummer there. But honestly, I think everyone's holding up differently, and not to say that it's been all like sunshine and rainbows. Like I definitely wish I could get out more, but I think
Mhm.
especially a lot of creative type people that I've talked to, they all seem to like sort of be like, well, I was kind of already just inside all the
Like
time anyway. So,
quarantining themselves, right?
right, yeah.
So, where are you in the part of the world right now?
So I'm in Missouri in the United States. So Missouri is like smack in the middle of the United States, like right between New York
Is
and LA.
everything good down there? Is everything going well so
You
far?
know, it's definitely not like the hottest spot for the pandemic, which is nice. And I live in the suburbs, so I live outside the city, so there hasn't been, as far as I know, like a huge outbreak where I am. And there's also like just a lot of open space. Like it's
Mhm.
kind of like farmland where I am. So there's like a lot more breathing room for people and like less it's not like New York or LA where everyone's just like packed in like sardines. So
Okay.
yeah, it's been good in that way.
Okay, cool. So, Anson, here's the thing. Before an interview, I usually like do some research or
Yeah,
something, and then I try to find your wiki page, but
yeah,
I couldn't find any. I mean, like,
yeah,
it's so hard to get to know you. So therefore, I will ask this question: if you
yeah,
could write down a Wikipedia page of yourself,
yeah.
what would you write on the early life section? What would you
Early
write?
life. That's so
Yeah.
funny you mentioned Wikipedia because I was just talking to my manager. I was like, "Hey, we need to make a Wikipedia page. Like, I gotta,
Okay.
I gotta be legit here." But what would I put for early life? Oh gosh, I mean, I would say I was quite an eccentric young child. I mean, I had a lot of different interests. I was like super into like when I was growing up, I was like really into magic tricks.
Ooh, okay.
In fact, I have a deck of cards here. I just actually started like learning them again because I think it's really
Uh-huh.
cool to do
Do you
like
expert
cards.
any of the tricks though?
No, no, not really. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, I mean, I was like really into magic tricks when I was young. I was super into Pokemon like every kid, I
Okay.
think, and skateboarding. I went through all these different phases, but I was also a musician too. Like in my early life, I played the piano from when I was like
Yeah.
5, and
Okay.
played the saxophone when I was in middle school and high school. And
Mhm.
I was kind of all over the place, but I was always some sort of an ambitious, young kid. So I don't know. I don't know if that's a very good answer, but it's kind of all over the place.
Okay. So when did you decide to like finally join into like career of music? When do you finally decide that?
Yeah, well, it wasn't really a decision actually. It sort of just happened.
Okay.
I went to school to be a computer scientist. So I studied like software engineering in school,
Right.
and
Okay.
I got a job as a software engineer after college. So
Mm-hmm.
when I was like 23 or 24, I moved to Washington D.C. to um, to be a software engineer. And then during that time, I had been posting songs online, like just
Mm-hmm.
for fun, basically, and like those songs ended up um, like sort of blowing up, like, or not blowing up, but like sort of they got way more attention than I thought they would. And so
Yeah.
I sort of was like, and then I started making some money from it. And then after a point, I was like, all right, this makes more sense than software engineering. I'm just gonna do this instead because I liked it better than software engineering too. I mean,
Okay.
not that I don't like computers, but like I said, I've always been a musician, so this is way more fun.
Well, we didn't even know how the lives happen, right? Because
Yeah,
yeah, everything's
it's
happened like suddenly.
yeah, it's crazy.
So, Anson, I must say, like, I really love your song, as I previously
Thank you,
said, especially Broken. I really dig into this song so
thank
much.
you,
Also, congratulations on for releasing Hurricane finally
thank you.
after all of your fans like seems like into that kind of songs, and
Yeah.
also for hitting 140K followers on Instagram. Any comments to that?
Any comments? Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, thank you. Even though, yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, no, it's. I mean, it's crazy. Like to me, like when I see like Broken, for example, it has like probably like 50 million streams now or something like that, and like I remember when I had 20 YouTube subscribers, like literally 20, and thinking like, okay, I'm gonna build this project myself, and like just I never thought it would come to this, you know what I mean? So it's like it's
Right.
crazy, and like and the support for Hurricane, like people, love that song, and we didn't even think we were gonna put it out, so it's been cool to like to get to put it out. And the Instagram thing is it's really it's great. I mean, it's funny. I feel like everybody like sort of puts Instagram on a pedestal and wants like the most Instagram subscribers
Mhm.
but or followers, but I mean it's great. It's just yeah, it's great. It's great. I'd say that it's great.
So okay, so here's about my research. Based on my research, here's the thing that
Yeah,
I learned from you. Your single called like "Welcome to Wonderland"
yeah,
suddenly become a viral hit because of TikTok, right?
right,
You acknowledge that through your own TikTok. I mean,
right,
you made a video for that, and I
right.
feel like it's kind of your turning point. I must say. Tell us about
Yeah,
that. How do you feel at that moment? I mean, like when the song became a viral hit.
yeah. Well, it's funny because so the song came out back in 2018. In fact, I had written most of it in 2017, and I remember it got signed by an indie label, and at the time I had no one. So even an indie label was like it felt like a big thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember back in 2018, I really believed in the song. Like I just thought it was a really good song, and so at the time that I signed it, I was like, oh man, this is it. Like this is gonna blow up, and everyone's gonna love it, and that's my road to success or whatever. But it didn't quite happen that way. I mean, the song did relatively well for someone like me who literally had no name at the time. Like I was just like that was like the first song I had officially put out basically. So the song, I mean, it did decently. It certainly didn't like take over the charts or anything like that. But then when the song went viral on TikTok, I remember a friend of mine sent me the video, and this is a person I wasn't very close with, and she was like, "Hey, they're using your song. That's crazy." And then like I looked through the other sounds or the other videos with sound, and there were like tens of thousands of videos with the song, and I was like, "Whoa, wait a second." And then in like the course of like I think a week, the song just exploded, and yeah, it went viral, and I mean, it was awesome because it was like that song was my baby, and
Yeah.
it's such a it's not to toot my own horn, but it's such a good song. I really like that song, and I'm glad that more like people can appreciate it, and I get messages every day from people who say that song helped me in some way or affected me, and to me that's maybe the best thing about the whole process is that you forget that people are actually listening to your music and like
Yeah.
they're affected by it.
Cool. Because I do love the song also because the message of the song itself, it's like, okay, this song is it's quite cool. So nowadays, Anson, people like tend to drawn easily through a ballad song than
Right.
an upbeat song. I must say, like at least that's what I thought based on
Yeah.
what I see. Right? Do you
Yeah.
feel the same way though?
Oh yeah. I mean, there's two different. I mean, I will say now, certainly a lot of like more rhythmic music is dominating the charts. There's a lot of hip hop and like sort of dance music.
Yeah.
But I think the more like the ballads and stuff are just more, they're more timeless in a way. Like there's something about, and the reason I'm so drawn to writing like piano ballads, for example, I don't want to write piano ballads for like the only piano ballads for the rest of my life, but the reason I like it so much is because it's so, a song is really just chords and a melody and words, right? And everything else is sort of on top of that. And so if you write a piano ballad, that's all there is, it's like, it's just straight to the point, and it's like, it's the most piercing, it's the most intimate you can get, and I think people are looking for that intimacy, that maybe they can't find it in their own lives, or they're just, they're looking for a way to feel, and music makes us feel, and especially songs, at least the songs I try to write, try to help people to feel, I think. And so that's why I think people are so drawn to that type of music.
And they try to like relate to every single song that they hear, right?
Right, absolutely. I mean, no one wants, well, that's not true, but you're more like predisposed to listen to a song that you relate to. I mean, no one's going out of their way to listen to songs about, like,
right,
I don't know, people that aren't in their situation.
Okay, so based on that question, what is the process? What is the creative process behind your music, though, Anson?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it depends. It's different for every song. It depends on if I'm working alone or with someone else. But usually, I either start with a lyric or a melody. Okay. People always ask me if I start with the lyrics first or the melody, but it's never really that simple. Like, for example, with my song Robin Hood, I started with a lyric for that song. Then with Welcome to Wonderland, I almost just had like a vague concept that I wanted to write a song about like Alice in Wonderland, and then it was like I came up with the melody after a little while. I was like, so I went with that. So I started with the melody there and sort of brought in the words later. And then I just sort of let the song sort of write itself in a way. It's funny, the more I write music, you just sort of, the more you open up and just sort of try things, you find sticking points that work, and then you just use those and you keep going. Like if I, it's very ambiguous, but it's a lot of just trial and error, and there's not like a right way to write a song. It's really, and the other thing too I'm really blessed about, like, is that, I mean, obviously I've been a musician for so long, like 20 years now, and when you have all that experience, it's really subconscious. So I can just, it's almost like speaking another language. So it's not like I'm really trying hard to pull the melodies out of the piano. It's like sort of just, it's like a painter or something would, paint with a brush or something. So
okay, yeah. Ooh. It's amazing to finally recognize, I mean, like the process of each artist to create their song, because every artist got their own type of like creative process, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's so nice to hear from you. So Anson, here's the funny thing that I also learned from you. I've been stalking to your Instagram and stuff, and I found an account with the name Advice with Anson, which is a collective video of yours giving people an advice. But it stopped in April. What happened?
Well, it's funny. My fans have been calling me out for that too. Yeah, I mean, I just made that account because it's like just a side account I have, and it's mostly just giving people advice, because a lot of people ask me for advice because I talk about like sort of mental health topics in my videos, and like just like trying to be a better person and like getting your life together, which is stuff that I struggled with a lot, and I wish that somebody, I mean, I had to learn some very hard lessons, a lot of them relating to loving yourself and treating yourself with kindness. And so that account was inspired by those feelings. And I mean, so the pandemic hit in around April, and I don't know. The thing about that account is I only post when I feel like I really have something to say, like when I feel inspired. Like I don't want to just like make posts, like, because the account, I'm not trying to grow the account or anything really. Like I'm not trying to make that account blow up or anything. So I really only post if I'm feeling like moved to do so. So I really haven't really felt that moved to do so, which is maybe a bad thing, but that's why I haven't posted on that account.
Okay, so can we expect to another post when this pandemic is over and you feel like posting it?
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll post one soon since you mentioned it.
Okay, so here's my last two questions for you. The first one will be, what is five random things probably that people didn't know about Anson Seabra?
5. Oh man, 5. That's a tall ask. Usually people only ask for 1.
I
This is
mean,
like
the
my
first one will be like the most what is it, like bad habit that you would have to what is
bad
it, like,
habit.
yeah, I don't know, or weird
Gosh.
hobby, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll think of 5. Okay. My dad is half Brazilian, so that's my first fun fact. He's from Sao
Okay.
Paulo, Brazil.
Cool.
But I don't speak Portuguese, unfortunately.
That's two. That counted as two.
Oh gosh, sure. No, that's not a very good one.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. So when I was in high school, I helped set a. Do you know the game Mancala? Have you ever played that? It's like there's like beads and you it's like a board game basically. And I set a world record for the most games of Mancala played at once. So it wasn't just me. It was like I was at this
it's more
summer
like a
camp and
team.
I was at this summer camp and there was like 500 kids in the room and we were all playing the game at the same time. It's kind of an obscure game. So that was I helped set that world record, so that's kind of cool. I'm trying to think of what else. Shoot. When I was in high school, I won the district poetry contest, and the year before, I was the runner-up. Not to brag, but I think I should have won that year too.
That's probably the fourth one. So the last one would be...
and then the last one, what would it be? My favorite song of all time is probably Despacito by Louis Fonsi featuring Justin Bieber.
Hey, I love that song. I love that song too, man.
It's been a great song, you know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So my last question, Anson, is there like any message to your Indonesian fan who happen to watch this video or listening to the podcast?
Yeah, absolutely. I love you guys over in Indonesia, and thank you so much. So much. I mean, I can't even say how much your support means to me. I love you so much, and I hope if you're hearing this, you have an amazing day or night, whatever time it is, and just sending so much love your way.